Okay, so let's say you want to estimate square roots because you have a square root or a surd or a number with a radical sign, and you want to approximate the decimal equivalent. We know that if you take the square root of a number and the number is not a perfect square, then that's an irrational number. It goes on forever, and so it can't be written exactly in a repeating. It can't be written in a repeating decimal. It can't be written in a terminating decimal. But we can take it out to a few spots and then round. So this is definitely an estimate way to estimate it. And this, what I'm showing you with using the number line method is estimating without using a calculator, but just using using a number line instead to get an approximation. So if we're trying to find the square root of 40. Okay, well, the first thing that we can determine is what is a perfect square root just before 30 and a perfect square root after 40. So let's see, 4 squared is 16. Okay, so 16 is before 40, but maybe there's one closer. The next one would be 5 squared is 25. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer. The next one is 6 squared, which is 36. Okay, and then the one after that would be 7 squared, which is 49. So the number 40 falls between the numbers, the perfect squares of 36 and 49. Okay, so again, these are perfect squares. We picked those intentionally. Square root of 40 is somewhere in between there. So if we put this on a number line, let's say, and this represents the square root of 36, this represents the square root of 49. Okay, now I'm going to do this. Let's see how many numbers are in between there. It looks like there's 13 numbers between there. So I'm going to try to divide up this distance with the remaining numbers. Again, this is an estimation, so just do the best you can. Let's see, 36 will make this 37, 38, 39, 40 might be about there, right? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, oh, 49. They're pretty good. Okay, so for the square root of 40 is approximately right here between the square root of 36 and the square root of 49. Well, we know that the square root of 36 as a whole number is 6. And the square root of 49 as a whole number is 7. So now we can look at this distance between this whole number 6 and this whole number 7, and we can see that the square root of 40 is a little bit to the left of center, and if this is approximately center or so, and this is 6, this would be approximately 6.5, right? And then so the question becomes, where is this? And so I'm going to estimate that at approximately 6.3. Okay, and again, if you're off by if we put the square root of 40 into a calculator and it's 6.27, or if it's 6.4, then that's okay, because this is again just an approximation or estimation method. And again, we can do this without using a calculator. Okay, let's see if we can do a few more. Let's say I have the square root of 65. Well, again, what is the perfect square before 65? Well, let's see. 49 is 7 squared. 8 squared is 64, so that's probably going to be one. 64, since it's right before it. And then the next one is 9 squared, which is 81. Okay, so I don't know if I can do this again as good as I did the last time, but let's see. Let's say this is square root of 64. This is the square root of 81, so I'm going to just kind of eyeball this. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Okay, so you can see it's not perfect because this space is bigger than this, but it's an approximation again, so you can get the idea. So here's our 64. Here's our 81. 65 is going to, the square root of 65 is going to be right after 64. So if the square root of 64 exactly is 8, and the square root of 81 is exactly 9, and square root of 65 is way close to 8, then we can approximate the square root of 65. I think that would be a good guess, is 8.1 or something along those lines for a good estimate. Okay, and let's see, the last one we'll do, well, 91. Okay, I think that falls somewhere between the square root of 81 and the square root of 100. Well, I drew the numbers opposite this time, but that's okay. That equals 9 and that equals 10. Okay, and then you know what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to write out all the little tick marks. I'm just going to say that I think that the square root of 95, it's really, isn't it approximately about 3/4 the way over, right? Between 80 and 100, it's about 20 spaces, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so the square root of 95 is approximately 3/4 of the way between 81 and 100. So let's see, 0.75. I'll just round that up to, let's call this 9.8 maybe. We could have picked 0.7. Either one, it's an estimate. But this is one way to estimate square roots if you don't have a calculator, and it's a lot more accurate than just randomly guessing. Alright, hope this video was helpful for you.